Michael fucking Bolton? Jesus.
What's the what?
Don't ask.
I'm asking.
I just saw this fucking really terrible picture of Michael Bolton.
And how did he look?
Bad. And it's an old photo when he was young. It's not about Michael Bolton.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world.
It's the 2-Minute Terminator. I'm Ethan McKinley, and we are going to dismantle the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. We are at minutes 58 to 60. Shut up, you. To 60. It's episode 30, and I think that means we're on episode 92 now, if we include the first season. So we need to have a celebratory 100th episode, I feel.
Yay!
As I said before, I'm Ethan McKinley.
And I'm Ellie Fitzgerald.
Over
Welcome to the show.
Over Viber, no less. In
Viber.
our new, bought another fucking sound desk because all this shit keeps breaking, travelling around trying to do podcasts with this ass clown. It's Monday. Welcome back, everyone. Hit the bloody music.
Oh my god.
So, Ellie.
Yes, Ethan.
Apparently you've had this clip, which is minutes, where are we? 58 to 60, which is episode 30. You've been having this on a loop for the last hour, so I'm sure you've immersed yourself in not only the world of mental health hospital escapes, but also the Terminator films in general. Tell us,
Indeed.
what have you gleaned?
What have you gleaned? Well, first of all, I'd like to say, you know, when you first start the 2 minutes, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Furlong driving into the multiplex, the car park.
Is that his name? Furlong.
Furlong.
Sounds like a racehorse.
It is. Hung like a horse, let's type. Do you know what that clip reminds me of?
Go on.
That video that you had to shoot to prove that you could ride a motorbike?
Oh, he comes in through the car park.
Yeah, dude, as soon as it happened, I was just expecting to see you come through.
I should try and post it on the Terminator 2 page.
Yeah, well, we should, just so that they know what I'm talking about. So that was the first thing. I was just like, oh my god, it's just like Ethan's,
awful.
What would that be? Like a...
Oh, that was the worst. That was for Google, that commercial, the casting. And I went in there dressed in all my leathers, looking like a biker. And I was like, I can ride a bike, here's a bike. And they just looked at me like so disinterested. They looked like I just spat in their fucking faces. And the actual commercial, when it finally came on, because it was like, it's essentially like Surrey for Google, where you go, Google, how do you get to Land's End or John O'Groats, which is like the two furthest points for our international viewers, apparently in England. Land's End and John O'Groats. I guess John O'Groats, that sounds Scottish. It must be in like the furthest point of Scotland.
It is, and Land's End is Cornwall.
John O'Groats.
John O'Groats.
But some people like ride that, don't they? Either do a triathlon or bike it or some shit like that, don't they? Something
I've
wacky.
heard people like running it or fucking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Stupid fucking people, basically. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Charity starts at home, dude. That's all I care
Run
about.
for fun. Back to the Future 3. So
yeah,
Ellie,
they would. Yeah.
we need to stop going so whatever to like prompt each other on this show when it's low energy.
Low energy.
Yeah.
I'm all the energy.
Actually, you know what you can do, Ellie,
I've been
while
energised
we're
for the last
online?
hour.
You can go to the 2-Minute Terminator page, because I think Spaldner's sent us
I've
another
already
letter.
got the mailbag up, motherfucker.
Mailbag.
Saggy bag. Mailbag. Hi, guys. Ethan, you made a good point about the shooting into water. Surface tension.
Done enough of that in my time.
Bullets. Surface tension would have ruined bullets the instant they hit the water. All Chief Brody would have been doing was seasoning Bruce's dinner with a little lead, pepper, and arsenic.
If Bruce, by the way, Ellie, if you want to know who Bruce is the kind of pet name given to the shark in Jaws 1, which was actually Spielberg's lawyer.
Oh wow! Get you with your undercover knowledge.
Well, I was just shouting out Spaulding there, who was like seasoning Bruce's dinner, and I think he's referring to seasoning because Everett McGill, as we discussed a few episodes back in Under Siege 2: Dark Territory, that Everett McGill freshens his breath with mace.
Nice.
Ellie doesn't care. Moving on. Go.
No, I could give a fuck, mate. They would have come apart as soon as they hit the water, especially the wax. That's what I thought. And the shark would have had to have been at the surface of the water for it to have had any effect. And to answer your question about bullets having a terminal velocity, no, not in the sense of them only being able to go fast and then stop gaining speed, like a falling skydiver. Bullet speed and distance is determined by many factors.
How does he know all this
One
shit?
of which is how much powder is in the casing behind the bullet. The more his gun knowledge is second to none. The more you have,
we will join your militia.
The faster and further the bullet can travel. Gravity and physics, however, are a constant for everything. So the instant the bullet leaves the muzzle at the end of the barrel, it's already beginning to slow down and drop. This also plays into shooting into water. The faster and harder the bullet is firing from a gun, the more
This is
damage
very
it creates
sexual.
from impact. With the surface firing from a gun. I've lost my place.
Muzzles, ends, shooting.
Harder, faster
Oh my
firing
God.
guns will hardly get underwater before the bullet velocity dissipates and trajectory is changed. Slower firing bullets, however, will travel a bit further underwater before becoming ineffective. Less sexy.
Very much like me.
You'd be much better off. I felt like Nigella Lawson then. You'd be much better off firing an old style flintlock rifle. Yes! My brother's got a few of those. You redcoats carried back in the day. Then you would.
Not a Star Trek reference.
No, redcoats. It's like old school English. We are the redcoats. With something much newer and advanced. I think that was a typo. All in all, aside from someone shooting a cannon into the water, if you can get a few feet under the surface quickly, you'd be fairly safe from shooting in after you. Gun fact. Oh, gun fact. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, Spaldner. Secondly, yes, I have seen the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and I enjoyed it. I was disappointed when Fox cancelled it so suddenly. They were just about to introduce the T-1000 into the series. Oh, wow.
Oh, that would have turned things around.
I think they tied in the movies well. I think it was the show where we introduced the Resistance HQ being a submarine like in Salvation, and Summer Glau played a T-800 well. She was good with the dead behind the eyes cyborg look. I thought it was fun, but I'm also easily entertained.
Of course you are. That's why you listen to this fucking shit show. Thanks for the letter, Spawner.
Yeah, fuck me, that was a lot to read. Did he go to like gun school?
He's American. They all go to gun school.
Can you do a degree in guns?
Yeah.
Or firearms? You must be able to. Like the fucking depth that he's gone to do. It's like fuck. Shooting a bullet into water. Boom. Done. Okay, so what are the bookmarks of this 2 minutes, Ethan? How does it start and how does it end?
Right, that's a great question. There's a needle in Dr. Silverman's neck, and the Terminator walks out of the lift. Now, I mistimed this ever so slightly, so we do actually finish before the Terminator walks out of the lift.
He does.
So I can't...
But it's building. It's building. We can feel it coming.
Yeah, so
Literally.
I can't... Actually, you know what? I'll just tell you. The lift that the Terminator walks out of, when she goes, no, and slows down and starts like skidding her feet backwards. There was actually no lift there. They built that into the wall. Production did. They just extended the wall and put their own lift in because they wanted that corner for some reason to have the lift instead of using the lifts that were actually there.
When Sarah is walking Silverman up to the gate, she's saying the woman who looks the spitting image of Dave Gahan from Depeche Mode in the music video, It's No Good. I couldn't actually find out who she was, dude. I've looked in numerous different places, but the lady that works behind reception with the dodgy ass hairdo.
How about a beer?
I can't find who she is.
The one with the kind of like the Elvis fucking rockabilly quiff and the
yeah.
yeah. I can't find her either.
No.
I wonder
Maybe
why
she
she's
isn't
not
real.
credited. They didn't mention her either. They mention actually there's a man that kind of runs in to grab Sarah's syringe off Silverman. She kind of like kicks his ass and flings him on his back.
Yeah.
When she actually does that, the stuntman in question, whose name remains nameless because it wasn't actually mentioned. This is a stuntman that Cameron mentioned. He reaches out and grabs her kind of syringe arm.
Yeah.
Basically, she like heel of her hand palms him. When she pushes him back on his back at minute 59 and 25 seconds, you see the kind of like little pad or rug that he's actually pushed onto.
All right.
Actually, I take it back. I've found out who it is. Denney Pierce is the Burley attendant who gets pushed on his back.
Ah.
And yeah, he's basically a stunt coordinator and stuntman.
Yeah, he's also a fucking gimp.
He's done it. He's been in some amazing things. One was called Monster Truck with Rob Lowe. Okay.
Do you not think the dude stood behind the black guy with the truncheon, with the baton? Do you not think he looks like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead?
No, I think the lady with the broken arm looks like Beavis. She's got the Beavis hair.
No, it's definitely the dude stood behind the black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a closer look. Spitting image, Beavis and Butthead, or maybe yeah, Beavis, definitely Beavis. When Silverman is being walked up to that gate, do we know which arm was broken? Because he opens the door, she's holding one arm, but I swear it's the other arm that gets broken. He wouldn't have been able to open that door if his arm was broken.
I don't know, because maybe it was only a fracture. I think. I don't know. I broke my finger a month ago, didn't I? Basically, full disclosure for one, the double glazing windows. Not sure what you have in America, but we have these like fake plastic frame things, and the handle came off after many years. So I, like an idiot, tried to kind of like put my hand on the outside of the window and try and slam it shut. Like, imagine if you were slamming a door or pulling a door open. You don't always have to hold the handle. If the door's already open, you kind of pull it back towards yourself and you just move your arms that way. But I did this so quick, I didn't get my hand out in time. My fingers got caught between the frame and the outside of the window. So basically the window just closed and broke my finger. I know I've broke my finger because there's a lump on the bone now as we speak.
Yeah, you definitely broke that, dude.
And I don't think I ever intentionally broke anything on my body until then, but I've been using my hand as normal. So I think if you had a minor fracture or even a break, I think he'd still be able to manipulate, unlocking something. It would be very painful, of course, but what you can do.
Yeah, but he's literally just had one of those fucking battens slammed into his forearm.
But that might be the best place or time to have that happen, is because you're in shock and your body's kind of just reacted to it. You know, it's one could argue that it's probably a better time as any to try and open a
yeah,
door.
well, okay. Well, if he's got that much like fucking adrenaline going through him that he can open a door, surely he can just fucking elbow her in the face and get the needle out of his neck, no? Girl comes over, smash, elbow to the face. Yeah, so...
Ellie finds the funniest things funny.
Something else I found interesting about this scene, actually I'm skipping forward a little bit, when Patrick comes into kind of like the reception area once the alarm's been sounded, and you've got the guy that was like knocked onto the floor, and he like throws his hand on the side and all those bits of plastic fly up into the air, and Robert Patrick walks past him.
Yeah.
Considering he's a policeman, do you not think the guy that was on the floor had been like, oh my god, this is what's happened, like they've gone that way, not a word is spoken, it's all very calm? Do you not think he would have said anything?
No.
Why?
Well, I think the main reason is he's kind of like he's been injected with like a massive sedative. So I think not only is his legs packed up, he's kind of like
a bit out of
he's
it.
heavily sedated, shall we say, but only his bottom half. I suppose usually when they sedate you, they use another like a vein, but that was just went right into the meat of his ass. So his legs are completely kind of like. I guess Joel Kramer is the man, by the way. We mentioned him like 2 episodes back. But yeah, he, I guess his entire lower half is essentially asleep, and he's kind of going,
That's his lower half, not his upper half, so surely he'd be able to speak.
Yeah.
No?
But it's pointless.
Go away, Connor. Let him go.
It's pointless story. You think she's a rug muncher?
Definitely. Oh my god. I'd stake my life on it. For sure. For sure. I found out the name of the guy that's waiting in the wings for Sarah. She's backing up with Silverman. Which again I found interesting because the alarm hadn't been sounded yet, so I wasn't quite sure how he was aware of what the situation was. But he is, as they call him on IMBD, DB even, the Burley attendant is it Denney Pierce?
Denney Pierce, yeah, I just mentioned him to you, Ellie, like 5 minutes ago. Went through his credits.
Oh shit, I wasn't listening.
Oh my god, yeah, but I just said Denney Pierce is a stunt coordinator, assistant director, and an actor. He's been in American History X, Pirates of the Caribbean 1, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Drag Me to Hell by Sam Raimi. His most recent credit is Captain America Civil War. So yeah, Agent Carter, he's a bit of a Marvel boy. Fast and Furious 7. R.I.P.D., that awful, it looks exactly like Men in Black film, but it's about ghosts and monsters with Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges. Transformers. All right, I've got a question for any listeners out there. The third Transformers movie. The main protagonist, I think is it Rodimus Prime? Voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
I cannot give anything to this because I haven't seen any of the movies.
You're not missing anything, but they find basically a transformer on the dark side of the moon, right?
Dark side, dark side.
The 60s astronauts, Neil Armstrong and stuff, that group of people, the Apollo astronauts of that era, found this transformer. Then they kind of like quarantined the moon and never went back. That's in the lore of this movie. That's what happens. Now you'd think it'd be called Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon. That's called
the Pink Floyd album, no?
Well, it's called Transformers: Dark of the Moon, and it just never sits well with me when I hear it. It's just like Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon, not Dark of the Moon.
Dark of the Moon, or why not just Transformers: Dark Moon?
Anything, Ellie. Anything.
Anything but what they chose.
But yeah, okay. He's done the Rocketeer, The Doors, The Rookie, one of my favourite Clint Eastwood movies.
The what? The Rookie?
Yeah, great film with Charlie Sheen, and Charlie Sheen's like the young rookie, and Clint Eastwood is the grizzled, seasoned cop who kind of takes him under his wing, and then they have to kind of like solve a case together. The late Raul Julia's in it.
What's your opinion on Charlie Sheen?
Sonia Braga's in it, and she rapes old Clint Eastwood, which is why would she do that for one? Two, why would Clint Eastwood get an erection if he's like old already and a hostage? And yeah.
What's your opinion on Charlie Sheen?
I kind of like him.
Why?
I think they discussed this on Opie and Anthony the other day, or maybe it was Patrice, but it was just like his career. Can you turn your sound off? His career should be over by now, but because he just owned it and like everyone loved him more.
Yeah.
So I think the thrust of his argument was, if you do anything bad, just say, well, fuck you, deal with it. Because most times when people are complaining about something, I think they usually go after you for worse than what you've done, just for the sake of like upsetting or ruining your life in a sense. The way like someone says something out of turn in the media, they're like, we want his job, he's got to get fired, this should happen. And I don't think they think like, does he have a family, does he have children he needs to look after, I think taking
very quick
to take like this sense
him.
of biblical revenge to kind of ruin people. Whereas Charlie Sheen, of course, obviously was just like, oh, winning, Charlie Sheen, yeah, I smoke crack, fucking.
I have one speed, go.
Yeah.
That stuck with me forever. I fucking love that.
I like hookers in like wardrobes and shit and stuff. Yeah, so he's all right. Obviously, he's a complete mess, but I guess what can you do?
That John Carpenter movie you showed me the other day, actually, I thought was I found it hilarious. The treatment of that woman that was slowly turning into a vampire, the hooker. That part was hilarious.
Oh, you mean Daniel Baldwin, who's constantly beating Cheryl Lee in Vampires, going, you stupid bitch. I like hitting her.
Yeah. Oh, but you said that John Carpenter got some stick for that.
Yeah, it was criticised for its mistreatment of women.
That's so fucking ridiculous, because she's quite clearly turning into a vampire. That's the reason why they're being so shitty to her.
It is, but he does like backhand and then go, oh, where you going? Where you going? And he just chases around like tries to flush her head down the toilet.
It's a film.
Do you want to come into the toilet or the one that's sucking on your dick? Hey, baby, I hope you filled out some organ donor cards.
Organ donor cards. Use your head.
You snap ahead.
In this 2-minute clip, this is something that
I think we should explain to the listeners, by the way, that's actually from Ford Fairlane, the rock and roll detective, which is
one of
Andrew
the
Dice
greatest
Clay,
movies of all time.
which I showed Ellie a few months ago, and she thinks it's amazing. It's not that amazing.
It's fucking awesome. It's got to be in my top 10 movies.
What?
Yeah, definitely. I love it so much. It's another one of those movies I think I could watch again and again and again.
But
it's
do you like
just
it?
so funny.
Do you like his stand-up?
I just love him. My hair. It's him. Well, he basically plays himself, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, that was a character he played. He started off doing like John Travolta impersonations.
No, keep doing yourself.
Like the Nutty Professor, he'd go on as like Jerry Lee Lewis, the original Nutty Professor, and he'd kind of like drink a potion and then turn into like this Travolta-esque character, or John Travolta, and he eventually evolved into like the Dice Man, and then that kind of like took over predominantly his act, and then he just became the Dice Man 24/7.
This man is fucking epic. He is so funny. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he was banned out of MTV actually in 1990, which they think harmed the because Ford Fairlane was kind of like.
To be fair, I'm not surprised.
Well, Ford Fairlane was a massive flop basically. Rennie Harlin directed it, who did Die Hard 2.
That was a flop.
Yeah, because of the adverse effects publicity-wise. Basically, lots of women's groups came out against him. And if you watch his stand-up, he talks about retards, it's all racist, super sexist, anti-woman, misogynistic comedy. So, like, loads of women's groups came out when he broke big, like, in around, like, 87, 88, 89. So when his film actually came out, there was so much kind of, like, stink attached to Andrew Dice Clay. He was banned from MTV because I think he presented the MTV Movie Awards, and then like his film career was kind of like kiboshed. He's come back again now. He's done the recent Woody Allen film.
Woody Allen
with Kate Blanchett, but I can't remember what the freaking hell it's called. But he's kind of like
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, he's like Kate Blanchett's husband's friend's husband, I think. But yeah,
wife's cousin's brother.
He's done some good movies. But yeah, and he's in Entourage, of course.
I think he's fucking awesome. I think he's so funny.
But
I would love to.
At the time,
one of those people you'd love to have at the dinner table.
Yeah, at the time he was like unfairly maligned. Unfairly or unfairly, I don't know. I guess the listeners can decide that. But yeah, his career was like kind of badly damaged in terms of his film career. Anyway, I think his stand-up, he's always had a loyal following and stuff, and he's I don't give any fucks kind of attitude, kind of like wins him points.
Fuck the hottest chicks.
The hottest clubs, the hottest chicks. I hope you filled out some organ donor cards.
Yeah, it's the noises he makes, and just the fact that he just does not give a fuck, and his complete disregard for other people. I love it. It's so good.
The dice.
Anyway, this is 2-minute Terminator, not 2-minute Andrew Dice Clay. But something that also does make me laugh a hell of a lot, because I've had this clip going round now for probably about an hour and a half. That moment when Sarah's being chased, so Silverman's cut loose, they're now just
gotta cut
hunting
loose.
her down. She's run into the first door, she's unlocked it, shut it. The way the black guy slams into that glass door and he shoves his tit onto the screen. Oh, God. It's so funny. Every time it happens, he literally, like, it's almost like that scene out of Cable Guy, when Jim Carrey, like, thrusts his chest into the glass and goes, "Oh, Burley."
Well, that's from Midnight Express.
Yeah. It's just like that. It's literally just like...
Mark Christopher Lawrence is the man you're talking about.
The black guy.
Yeah.
The black guy. Yeah, the way he just slams into the glass. It's like his fucking man boob. He moves the glass. It's just so funny. And because I've seen it on repeat so many times, every time it happens, it fucking kills me. And you get to see it twice as well, because you get the close-up and then you get to see it when it's like the further away shot as well.
I think my clip actually ends before he does that. Hang on.
Well, it shouldn't do. It's so good. Boff.
Hang on, I'll try and freeze frame it for the actual...
It's brought me much enjoyment. It really has.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Burley. It is. It's his tit. He literally just goes. Poof. What's that guy's name? The white guy?
I think it's Mark Christopher Lawrence. Hang on.
What's Mark Christopher Lawrence been in?
Ellie, do you even... We did like half an episode devoted to him, but I guess I'll encapsulate it again for you. He's been in Garfield, the recent 2004 Garfield, voiced by Bill Murray. He's in that. He's in The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. He's in Terminator 2, the thing we're watching now. He's in the TV show Chuck. Blood Lake, Attack of the Killer Lampreys, which he did in 2014. Oh my god. This looks worse than Arthur and Merlin. Shannon Doherty's in it. I think, it's a Sci-Fi Channel show, I think. It's a sci-fi, yeah. Christopher Lloyd and Shannon Doherty star in it.
Doherty?
As seen on Animal Planet. So it's like an Animal Planet production. Jason Brooks, Zach Ward, Christopher Lloyd. Mark Christopher Lawrence is on the first page of IMDb. Wow, he's the opposite of my career. I'm always on second page credits on IMDb. Good times. Anyway, yeah, that's Mark Christopher Lawrence with his titty slapping door.
Have you seen it yet?
I have, but it's very brief.
Oh, it's amazing. You get to see it twice. Boff. I just love it. I think that's a great moment. Papa slammed his titty into the glass. I'd have done the same. Just to piss him off. If I'd been Sarah, I'd have just slapped my oyster straight back at him. Slap!
So,
and then the tricky bitch breaks the key off in the lock. Nice move.
I always question that because I try to do that in my own life, trying to break keys, but it's very hard to do.
I was going to say, like, but I guess the adrenaline, the fact that she's, like, moving at speed, could you just snap a key?
Pavarotti. Hey, what's the hassle? Hassle? What is this? I'm gonna be... What is that shit, huh? I could crack my knuckles with more rhythm than that. I mean, you're killing rock and rape and roll, man. I mean, Keith Richards is rolling over in his grave, and the friggin' guy isn't even dead yet. You're tearing me apart.
Hey.
Hey, no. Rest your lips. Put down the earmuffs. Go ahead. Good. Rock and roll. No rock and roll is.
What's Spawn doing, man?
Guys, work with me, huh?
Is this what I think it is?
I got a 65 Cadillac, spare tire on my back.
Ding, ding.
Charge called to gold blacks,
Ding,
but I
ding.
ain't got you. Got women to the right of me, got women to the left of me. I got chicks all around me, but I ain't got you. I got a tab at the liquor store. I hit the number 444. I got a mojo, but don't you know I'm all dressed up and no place to go. I got women to the left of me, I got women to the right
Join
of
in,
me.
Ethan.
I got chicks all around me, but I ain't got
Ain't
you.
got you.
I ain't got you.
Sorry, everyone. It's Ford Fairlane. Come on.
Kid, now that's rock and roll.
And then the epic scene where he walks through the doors and just throws up the cups. Amazing. Which also reminds me of the scene in Animal House when the can, he catches the can when they first walk into the party, the first frat party. Oh, good times. Old movies are the best, man. They really are.
They are.
They are. Why is that? Why are old movies better?
I don't know, Ellie. I don't think they are. I think films are better now. Anyway, that was Andrew Dice Clay playing Ford Fairlane with I Ain't Got You from 1990's Rennie Harlin, who directed Die Hard 2's film The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, the rock and roll detective. And I've been Ethan McKinley, and this has been the...
Ellie Fitzgerald.
Shut up. This is the 2-Minute Terminator. We shall return shortly with episode 31.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world. I'll be back.